going to be an eventful year with cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, and here is why. 2024 is definitely starting off as an eventful year, and I definitely think it's a year to pay attention to Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. In this video, we're going to be going into why. I heard a quote once, it's watch what they do, not what they say. If we pay attention to what these large institutions are doing, in front of us we have a picture here sharing BlackRock CEO Larry Fink says Bitcoin is bigger than any government. Years ago, 5-10 years ago, over the last decade, it's the same people who have been bashing crypto that are now more exposed to crypto, adopting it. Definitely an important year to pay attention to Bitcoin. A lot of people are panicking seeing what's been going on with the recent ETFs, causing Bitcoin to drop from about 49,000, 48,000, and we had a big drop recently. If you're new to what Bitcoin is in cryptocurrency, the Halving is coming up, and this is an event, 92 days, so under 100 days. This is a big event coming up in April 18th. But if you don't know what this is, I'm going to explain a little bit here into this video on why this is important and why you should be paying attention to this, especially around April. New Bitcoins are issued by the Bitcoin network every 10 minutes. Every 10 minutes, you're having new Bitcoins issued on the network. Now, for the first 4 years of Bitcoin's existence, the amount of new Bitcoins issued every 10 minutes was a larger amount. It was 50 Bitcoins issued every 10 minutes. But every 4 years, that number is cut in half. This is the event called the Halving, or the Halving, right? In 2012, the amount of new Bitcoins issued every 10 minutes drops from 50 Bitcoin to 25 Bitcoin. And then in 2016, the supply again gets cut in half. This is what's happening in April. The supply of Bitcoin that is issued on the network every 10 minutes is gonna get cut in half. It's gonna go from 6.25 BTC per block to 3.125. This is gonna create a lot more demand for Bitcoin and cause prices to eventually go higher. It's a supply and demand shock, as there is only a certain amount of Bitcoin in circulation. Whereas you compare gold to Bitcoin, gold, you can keep manufacturing as much gold as possible. With Bitcoin, there's not. There's a limited supply. So this is an important event to pay attention to this year and be educated on this year if you're not, because if you go study history and the market, we like to say history repeats itself. The halving decreases the amount of new Bitcoins generated per block. This means the supply of new Bitcoins is lower, making buying more expensive. After this happens, this is usually where Bitcoin has proceeded with some of its largest bull runs, where it's its largest uptrends. We're gonna talk about what could happen before and after. So this chart in front of us shows previous Bitcoin bull runs after the halving event. These are some of the largest Bitcoin runs that we have seen over the last 10 years, over the last decade. The blue line, I'm gonna zoom in, indicates where the halving starts. Each blue line indicates where the halving starts. There's one thing we can learn from quickly looking at this chart, and one thing I'm going to show you is that price can drop before this event. It's not to say that price is going to be going up right now. It's an exciting time and a lot's going on with crypto. The market can still drop before this event, but it's usually after. It's usually after where we get the large runs. If we zoom in on the chart, we can see before previous halving events, Bitcoin has corrected before running to making a new all-time high. We could see there was a massive drop off on Bitcoin. Before the event, Bitcoin dipped. People were probably panicking. Bitcoin's dead, freaking out, selling their coins. That's the time where people freak out, when Bitcoin drops. This could happen again by April. We almost tapped at the $50,000 mark, right around 49,000. This is where the ETFs came out. So it was just a classic bull trap. The news, buy the news, sell it, right? This is just a classic bull trap scenario, but at the same time, all this sell pressure is just short-term sell pressure where we're getting a rotation from spot Bitcoin towards ETF. If we look at Bitcoin with where we're at right now, there hasn't been a major 20 to 30% correction so much yet. We just had this big drop off around 50,000, taking us close to 40,000. Bitcoin could keep running up, but eventually be prepared, we could potentially experience one of these types of major corrections. If we look down here, we haven't really had one of these yet on Bitcoin. Something that could potentially happen before the April 16th event in 92 days. Something like this, if we look around 31,000, Bitcoin formed some resistance here. That was, I would say, one of the bigger major, or I would say last bigger major corrections that we had on Bitcoin, taking us down about 20% plus in price. Something like this could happen again in regards to what I just showed you. If it does, that could be another time to stack up on Bitcoin. So guys, it's been an eventful year and we're only not that far into January, and there's a lot already going on with crypto and a lot to be aware of. This is why I say information is key, and having access to information, understanding what's going on, the bigger picture of things is very, very important. We're gonna talk more about this in further videos. Guys, comment on this video if you would like to see more crypto content, and I will be sure to upload more. See you in the next video.